Welcome to the Virtualization Configuring the VMware Subclient Learning Byte. This short video will explain how to configure a VMware subclient within the CommCell console. After installing the virtual server agent on a computer that will serve as a proxy for backups and restores, you must create a pseudo client within the GUI and then configure one or more subclients. This Learning Byte will explain how this is done. Let's begin. To create a VSA subclient, expand the client computers and the virtual server pseudo-client entities in the CommCell browser. Right-click on Default Backup Set, select All Tasks, and then select New Subclient. From the Content tab, include content in a user-defined subclient by browsing and manually selecting VMs or any other vCenter objects for backup. Note that when you select a vCenter object, all its child objects are automatically selected for backup. For example, if you select a resource pool, all the VMs in the resource pool are automatically selected for backup within that subclient. For information about adding VMs or vCenter objects for user-defined subclient backup, refer to the Commvault online documentation at the following URL. Now let's look at how to add or edit filters for a subclient. From the Filters tab, you can filter specific VMs or virtual disks from a backup. Click Browse to select the VMs, or click Add to define the virtual machine exclusion rules. Quiescing pauses or alters the state of running processes on a computer. For Windows VMs, VSS, Volume Shadow Service, is used to quiesce the operating system and VSS-aware applications on all the VMs in the subclient. Quiescing options are located in the Backup Options tab, where you can select the backup type for the virtual machine. The Application-Aware option uses a plugin on the guest VM to enable database restores for Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft Exchange, or Oracle applications running on a Windows VM. Select the File System and Application Consistent Radio button to quiesce OS and applications. The Crash Consistent option performs a backup without quiescing the operating system and applications. Please note that VMware tools are required to quiesce the operating system and applications. It is important to monitor the amount of free space available on the data store when using the VSA to perform backups. If the data store of a VM does not have sufficient space for software snapshots, the backup job may fail. Use the Backup Options tab to set the data space thresholds. The option to perform data store free space check sets a threshold for free space on a data store. The Data Store Free Space Required option lets you enter or select a percentage value for the amount of free space that is required on the hosting data store. From the Advanced Options tab, you can adjust the number of data readers for the subclient. The number of concurrent VM backups performed for a subclient is determined by the number of data readers. Each data reader will back up one VM. It is recommended that no more than 2 virtual machines be backed up from the same data store at any given time. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed watching this Learning Byte for Virtualization Configuring the VMware Subclient. For additional information, please visit our Education Advantage website.